Now, as we have a little more than a week to go before the midterms in the U.S., midterm elections in the U.S., where Rita and I are about to head off to cover, it's worthwhile to have a look at how scared the Democrats are. You want to gauge that? Well, check this out. They've let Joe Biden out of the basement. Of course, when they did that, it didn't go so well. Don't jump off the stage, Mr. President. That's not a swimming pool, and you're not a lifeguard, and there's no roaches and kids running their hands up and down your leg. Yes, you saw it right there. The president had a case of the wanders again. Gotta wonder if the Secret Service has a code for that. You can speculate for that on your own. But anyway, as you might have figured out, the president and Vice President Kamala Harris were out in Pennsylvania trying to shore up the Senate campaign of Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman, about whom more in a moment. Here's a bit more, though, of Joe Biden trying to rally the troops.
And by the way, if they do, that means, not a joke, everybody, that's why we were defeated in 2018 when they tried to do it. We went to 54 states.
54 states, Mr. President. Not a joke. Next, he's going to tell us how John Shade is going in his race against Charles Kimboat in the state of West Zembla. He also misreferred to Governor Mary Gay Scanlon as, well, have a listen.
I keep telling Mary Kay, I'm from Scranton.
I'm sure she really cares you're from Scranton. Yes, anyway. And he also made this bizarre assertion about gas prices.
Since the election, we've taken gas prices down from where they were.
No, this is a sort of whopper that was too big for even CNN to ignore. According to the American Automobile Association, gas prices in the U.S. are coming down. Yes, they are, but they are still eye-wateringly high compared to where they were when Biden took office. So what's this whole Pennsylvania gallivant about? Well, their Senate race is a toss-up, as Dr. Mehmet Oz, a celebrity doctor with about 1 million times more fame and relevance than Norman Swan ever managed to achieve, campaigns against John Fetterman, a far-left progressive with really radical ideas about crime, borders, energy, and a whole lot else. Here's Dr. Oz laying some of that out against Fetterman in a debate last week.
We have a catastrophe at the border, and we should not have sanctuary cities as John Fetterman has tried to introduce. But I've been into the parts of Philadelphia and Allentown and Reading where we have large Latino populations. I understand the challenges of the border. My father was an immigrant. My mother were immigrants. You know, I understand what legal immigration offers us, but the completely porous, open nature of our border, which John Fetterman supports, has created a humanitarian crisis with cartels profiting with human trafficking operations. They take the money, they buy narcotics from China and bring that into our country, and it's making every state a border state. Pennsylvania is already a border state because we're top 3 in the country in fentanyl overdoses. Lisa, I can't go anywhere where giving a big event where I don't meet multiple people who say their personal lives have been destroyed because of fentanyl overdoses. Yet John Fetterman not only wants an open border, not only supports sanctuary cities, but he wants to legalize all hard drugs in America.
Now compare that performance to that of Fetterman, who, by the way, suffered a stroke back in May, and nobody seems to be allowed to talk about it.
You're saying tonight that you support fracking, that you've always supported fracking, but there is that 2018 interview that you said, quote, I don't support fracking at all. So how do you square the two?
Oh, I do support fracking, and I support fracking, and I stand and I do support fracking.
Last week, you released this note from your doctor saying you can work full duty in public office, but you have not released your detailed medical records surrounding your stroke. Mr. Fetterman, will you pledge tonight to release those records in the interest of transparency? You have 60 seconds.
No. Yeah, again, my Dr. L believes that I'm fit to be serving, and that's what I believe is where I'm standing.
Our Next Star poll shows 51% of Pennsylvania voters disapprove of the president's job performance. You have publicly supported many of his policy positions. Are there any that you disagree with? 30 seconds.
No, I just believe he needs to do more about supporting and fighting about inflation.
Amazingly, this is still anyone's race to win. As the Babylon Bee said the other day, Dr. Oz and John Fetterman are neck and neck and neck in this race. But expect Fetterman's record and performance to be blasted all over Pennsylvania TV screens during ad breaks this weekend as the state settles down to two of their own NFL teams squaring off on the gridiron and the Philadelphia baseball team playing in the World Series. But the fact that they've wheeled out the president tells me that the Dems are nervous.